Hey, we want to welcome everybody back here on a Thursday night. We're at the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series. This is race number 5 of our season, so halfway through the season here. And tonight, well, it's plate racing here tonight. I'm in the booth all by myself tonight, so unfortunately for most of you, you just got to listen to me kind of ramble on here. But I am looking forward to it. I'm one of those crazy guys that looks forward to plate racing. I think there's a lot of strategy that goes into it, and as I've talked to a few other drivers, I mean, you always have to be switched on. These trucks, if no one's ever done, plate racing in these trucks, they build really big runs in the draft. So all throughout the night, these drivers are really going to have to figure out when and where these runs are coming from, and then also there's going to be some stack ups in the field. I suspect we'll see the big one, if not at least once, twice here tonight. We do got those 60 laps here at Dega to kind of get this thing in, and again we have a full field here tonight, over 30 trucks again. Going to take the grid here tonight, so gonna be a lot of fun. This is the salute to our sponsors 160. We have a lot of great sponsors out there that continue to help us put this thing on. And then, of course, this phenomenal group of drivers that come out week in and week out and help support this. So again, here this evening, you're going to see up on the screen that we've got our 2 tickers up there. One for our Veterans 48 fundraiser that we continue to raise funds for. This is going to go throughout the entire month of October. We're currently sitting at $671 against our goal of 1,000, and I know from all the fans and all the supporters we have, we're going to go well past that mark. Also, we still have it going for the subscriptions. We need to hit that 100 subscribers on Twitch, and we'll give away a $100 gift card. We're going to announce some more giveaways here in the upcoming weeks. More hats, more water bottles, more dog tags, everything that's going to go out the door. It's going to be a blast this month, and I'm looking forward to it. So, looks like the grid has been set here tonight. So, let's get to our starting lineup. We got a lot of trucks to make it through here tonight. But it looks like Jonah Colbert is going to win the pole here tonight from JC Motorsports in that number 34 entry with a lap time of 55.902. So congratulations to Jonah on the pole here tonight. To his outside, Brandon Wallace in that number 99 from Reaper Racing. Starting third is going to be Andrew Kurtz from PK Motorsports in that number 48. Starting in fourth is going to be Matt Knights in the 64. Starting fifth, Scott Sanderson in the 93. Haven't seen him in a couple weeks. Good to have him back out here. To his outside, Travis Beaver in that 114. James Kaufman's going to roll off seventh in that number 41 truck. Rolling off eight is going to be Dennis Yakes in the number 20. Starting ninth, Regis Clark from Indy Motorsports. And then starting to his outside is going to be Tony Minton in that number 14 truck. Starting 11th is Dave Camara in that 02. To his outside is William Piano Man Schroeder in the 22. Starting in 13th, Mike Bertosa in the 43. To his outside, Jake Ham in that number 3 truck. Starting 15th, Mike Brining in that number 4. To his outside, Mike Yakes in the number 17. Starting 17th is Joe Yakes, who's won back-to-back races. We'll have to see if he can come from mid-pack and challenge here at Talladega. Starting 18th, Eddie Smith, another race winner from this year, on that number 25 JC Motorsports entry. Starting 19th is Scott Rankin in the 49. To his outside, Jordy Malcolm in the 78. Starting 21st, Trevor McManus in the number 9 from Indy Autosport. Starting in 22nd, Nate Moore in the 971 from Simbox Motorsports. Starting 23rd, Jamie Mullins in the 66. To his outside is not me. I am not behind the wheel of a truck, so we'll just continue on here. Starting 25th is going to be Tommy Cook in that number 70. 26th, Timothy Douglas in the 59. 27th, Anthony Radel in the 21. Starting 28th is Doug Deal from Simbox Motorsports in that 977 entry. 29th is going to be Michael Waite in the 88. 30th, Kai Shepard from Extreme Motorsports in the 13 truck. Starting 34th is going to be Alan Smith in the number 19. 32nd, Greg Barnett. Starting at 33rd, Dustin Harrell in the number 12. To his outside, Greg Swervin Sherman in that number 24 truck entry. Starting 35th is Magic Mike Aribe in the number 77. To his outside, Phil the Hitman Monzo from Monzo Motorsports. And then rounding out our field and starting shotgun tonight is Brian Brogan in that number 45 entry. And that's your starting lineup for tonight's salute to our sponsors, 160 from Talladega Motor Speedway. Going to be a lot of great racing here this evening. Might even get a chance to tune in a little bit and listen to some of our drivers, as I'm going to be running a little bit of the race control as well. But we got a lot of guys out here going to be jockeying for position. And again, I know some guys really like the super speedway racing, and some guys don't. So we're going to see here how this thing gets started. But I expect to be a lot of great racing here tonight, because these drivers have always put on a great show. Had a great race last week at Pocono. A lot of fuel strategy and tire strategy came into play. We made some mid-season changes here, kind of lightened up the strategy just a little bit. These drivers will have an extra set of tires here tonight. We lightened up the fuel strategy. They're still going to be forced to make at least one stop on fuel here tonight, as they cannot go the distance. So it's going to be a strategy game still. But like anything else when it comes to plate racing, you're going to have some luck to get through the night here. As we continue to watch these trucks here. Great group of trucks out here tonight. Good to see them out here on this parade wrap as the pace truck is dropping off. And we're getting ready to get underway here for, again, our salute to our sponsors, 160. I appreciate everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. This should be an absolute blast here tonight. And I'm anxious to see this green flag wave in the air. And of course, here at Talladega, you got a long wait till you get up here to the start-finish line after that pace truck pulls off. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Jonah Colbert gets a really good start there. Doesn't want to pull too far away from the pack here, as they're going to bear down on him. But we're seeing two lines right now as these trucks go from 1 and 2. Everybody 2 by 2 through the field right now. As we hit the backstretch for the first time here this evening, we're seeing a couple guys get shuffled down. I don't know if they're intentionally moving to the back of the pack. But we're seeing 2 distinct lines right now, as Jonah Colbert is leading that inside line with Brandon Wallace leading the outside line right now.
Sorry, whoever's behind me there. There's a car coming in from under yellow.
That is going to complete lap number 1. So here, a great start to tonight's race. These guys still nose to tailgate up front. Jonah Colbert's going to lead lap number 1 here tonight. We're really going to have to see if this outside line is going to be able to make some moves.
So you guys come around, I'm going to stay high or low, depending on where I'm at.
Continue to watch the field here. Most of the drivers look right now that they're not wanting to make too many moves right now. Stay in line, get some laps underneath them here. We'll have to see if it stays this calm for a while. Again, Jonah Colbert down there on that inside line, leading that bottom line around. Brandon Wallace leading the top line around. Right now, we've got Andy Kurtz pushing the 34 truck of Jonah Colbert, and Matt Knights is the one pushing the top line right now. Everybody else kind of riding around in line. Looks like most trucks are giving themselves some space. Looks like one of the first moves to make a third line is going to be, I want to say that's Trevor McManus up on the outside right now. And that is Trevor McManus up on the outside trying to make a third line for him, but nobody wants to go up there with him right now. Travis Beaver jumps out of line. It looks like that third line is being formed as Tony Mitten, I think, is also the third truck in that outside line right now. It is. These guys are going to have to make a decision here soon if they're going to go up there and try to block this outside line or not. And Travis Beaver is now going to pull even with Matt Knight, so we do have 3 lines running right now. Jonah Colbert continues to lead this race, but now we have a third line up on the outside led by Travis Beaver. 99 of Brandon Wallace is leading the middle line right now, being pushed by Matt Knights. Still only 3 trucks in that upper line right now. Good 3-wide racing all throughout the field here. And now it looks like Travis Beaver in that outside line is going to pull even with these front 2 trucks. Actually going to get a nose out front. Starting to see some of these trucks. Oh, and Brandon Wallace drops down in front of Jonah Colbert on the inside line. Some of these trucks moving around as now Trevor McManus moves down to the inside. The middle line pulls even with the 99 truck of Brandon Wallace. And we see the pack coming through the tri-oval right now. Right now, Trevor McManus will not lead that lap. It will be Brandon Wallace leading that lap. 5 laps complete here, and the salute to our sponsors, 160 here tonight. Again, a lot of great racing here so far. These guys went 3 wide early. Trevor McManus led that charge to make that third line to move his position up. Now leads that middle line. Outside line right now is falling back. That inside line really is formed up really, really well right now. Those trucks are nose to tailgate and pushing each other along. We're seeing Jake Ham up here as well in the number 20 truck as well, up here towards the front right now. '41 of James Kaufman, that 4th truck in line down there on the inside. A lot of great racing still going on through the pack here. Okay, we are under green still here. Just completed lap number 5. A lot of great racing left here to go tonight as these trucks continue to lap around this big 2.66 mile track, running upwards of 190 miles an hour. Again, a lot of these guys have just kind of fallen into line. Saw some people jockeying for position early on, form a third line. That third line is now since faded away. Now it looks like the 93 truck of Scott Sanderson is going to try to form a line up there. As he moves up to the outside to try to advance his position. The middle line still being led by Trevor McManus, who's now kind of fallen back a little bit. Brandon Wallace continues to lead that inside line, followed by Jonah Colbert and Andy Kurtz now. Tons of great racing going on right now. Yeah, and Mama Ellingson, I'm doing it all by myself here this evening, and that's okay. Having a blast with it. These plate tracks are easy. I won't say they're easy to call. They're not easy to call whatsoever, but there's always so much action going on. It's easy to kind of keep busy on the microphone here. Appreciate it, Glenda. Yep, these guys are out here really getting it in. And we're starting to see some guys move around a little bit here tonight as they are working through the pack. Some people still trying to move their positions up. We're seeing some guys just kind of hang in the back right now. Not wanting to really get up here and race. As we're seeing these trucks dance around a little bit here in the tri-oval. As laps wind down here a little bit, tire wear doesn't come into play a whole lot here at Talladega. But as that fuel starts to burn off, these trucks will get lighter and start to dance around a little bit more within the draft. And again, for everybody that's tuned in on the Go Locker Racing Network, we still have our month-long fundraiser going on for Veterans 48, a phenomenal organization. We had Jeff Powell come out a couple weeks ago and talk about the organization and what they're doing for veterans down there in Florida. Just a phenomenal organization that we are so super happy to be partnered with and being able to raise some money for them. So please, if you haven't had a chance, go over to veterans48.org, check them out. And then for those that tune in on the broadcast, look under the tab About Us. You'll see a link to make an actual donation here this evening. And we do truly appreciate it. Every dime of it will go to Veterans 48. So even if you PayPal us via goods and services, we will the service fees on that, and we will make sure that every dime we raise goes to Veterans 48 so they can continue working with veterans down there, building motorcycles for disabled veterans, and just getting a good group and a community of veterans together to be able to share. So now we're seeing a lot of guys now form up on that inside line. The middle line is down to 4 trucks, and that third line now is only 2 trucks. Looks like right now most guys are just wanting to kind of ride around here a little bit, continue to log some laps as we're coming up on lap number 10 here. Still some guys wanting to get up here and try to mix it up a little bit. That second line is starting to move up just a little bit as they are forming up. Tony Minton up on the outside line being pushed by Scott Sanderson is making some pretty big moves. Loving the new paint scheme that Tony came to the track with this week. Not gonna lie, I will always miss the Captain Crunch, but this one's a pretty good looking truck as well. as we watch him come up through the pack here. Again, still some three-wide racing back here in the pack. Trevor McManus looks like he's going to move up to the outside line, get in front of Tony Minton, try to make that one move forward. Number 20 truck underneath him now, moving up a little bit, being pushed by Jake Ham there in the middle. We'll head back up front and check in on our leaders as they are all still single file. Everybody running nose to tailgate. I think a lot of these leaders right now realize this is the best way to run. Try to keep some things in check here this evening and get some laps underneath their belt as we are now on lap number 11 of our scheduled 60 here tonight. Again, this is our salute to our sponsors, 160.
You're clear, Travis. Sit down.
These drivers continue to put on a good show here this evening. Looks like Brian Brogan down there on the inside apron in that 45 truck, having the best night here tonight. Gets out of the way of the pack so they can continue to race on. Scott Sanderson continues to try to get a third line formed up there. As we start to see some of these trucks dance around coming through the tri-oval. Oh, we have an accident here this evening. Looks like the 17 truck went flying through the air, and we'll have to go back and try to take a look at it from his perspective there. We're trying to see what happened here, but not able to see exactly what happened.
Yeah,
as he had the toe, so we'll try to rewind it here a little bit and see if we can figure out what happened here.
Wherever 49 is, you got to pass me. Where's the 9? Coming in.
So it looks like he just gets crossed up off the nose of Trevor McManus there. And we'll try to get a different TV angle on this here. Figure out exactly what happened.
I'll catch up to you.
As we'll see him just get loose off the nose of the 9 truck and into that outside wall.
That could be the lucky dog.
And then he goes for quite the ride here. As he gets bounced around a few different times as some of these trucks are coming through here. Finally lands down on the ground and ends up having to tow back to the pits here.
14 is going as fast.
Doesn't look like too many trucks were involved here, so we will
checking out pace car in 3.
Head back up front as he's going to get his repairs done, and we'll see him back out on track soon.
I need an EOL, please. I need an EOL so these people don't get EOL, please.
You'll hear some of the drivers over the comms here this evening, just monitoring some of the things that are going on. One of the instructions we always give out to the drivers, if their truck's underpowered or can't make it back to the pits, please get it into the line penalty so we don't have to have a whole lot of other drivers get black flagged, as it looks like our Brandon Wallace is making the move to come down pit lane. Looks like he's going to be followed by most of the field here this evening. So we'll watch our pits happen live. As it looks like the entire field's coming down pit road right now. "13 laps complete here tonight of our scheduled 60. A lot of great racing through the field here already. This will be the first pit stop that these drivers make. Still can't make it from here on fuel, so we'll continue to kind of monitor the situation. Looks like most of the trucks here just pulled away with fuel only. As we take a look at some of the pit stop times here. We'll head up front too, and I think we do have
Lucky dog on the outside.
couple trucks that have stayed out. The truck of David Camara and that 02 and Jay Cam and the number 3 have stayed out on track. So we're seeing a little bit different strategy right now. And that good-looking number 3 truck. I tell you, those Indy Autosports guys know how to paint some trucks for sure. what I learned last week is Mike Browning is the one that does all these paints, so huge shout out to him for the incredible work he does. Now, I will tell you, his by far and away is the best looking truck of the Indy Auto Sports guys. Always enjoy having him on screen and checking out his truck. But a lot of good trucks out here in the field tonight. But I tell you what, Mike Browning's a talented painter for sure, and that is a damn good looking truck. So go back in and check on Joe Yakes, winner of our last 2 races here. He started to move his way up through the field. He's up to the 13th position right now, so having himself a pretty solid night. I suspect by the end of this thing, we'll see him up front battling for a win. Checking on another one of the Indy Auto Sports cars, Scott Rankin here. And that number 49 machine is up to 5th position, so had himself a good night. Looks like he's got some damage to the front of that truck as he's bringing it back down, or he's bringing it down pit road to try to get a little bit more of that fixed up. Again, these guys only have one fast repair here this evening, so they got to be mindful of when and how they use these repairs.
All right, Matt, night easy.
All righty. Well, as we continue to watch these trucks, looks like the lights are out on top of the pace truck, so we're going to come back to the green flag here shortly. I want to talk about one of our other sponsors who's actually up on screen right now, Jam Printing and Promotions, a great veteran-owned business based out of Plainfield, Indiana. They have done a lot of, for anybody that has received one of our hats, a set of our dog tags, they are the ones that actually did those for us. Amber is the owner over there, and she does phenomenal work. So please go check them out on Facebook, Jam Printing and Promotions. Go check them out on the webpage for any of your promotional needs. Again, support a great veteran-owned business, and they've done a lot to support us here at Go Locker Racing, and we do truly appreciate it. This time around, we're going to see the 0-2 of David Camara going to lead the field back to green. Brandon Wallace is going to be up on the outside, as it looks like Jake Ham did bring that truck down pit road. Jonah Colbert there back in 3rd, and Andy Kurtz in 4th, and Dennis Yakes up to 5th position. So we're going to see it all night long, different people up front, especially within these top 5 positions.
You guys going green, right?
And we continue to watch these trucks lap around right now. A lot of great racing still to be had here tonight. 45 laps left to go here, and the salute to our sponsors, 160. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. I am your only host here this evening, Pat, as Jamie is out with family, enjoying some good time, which is one thing that we always want people to do. We do appreciate everybody that comes out and drives, but family is absolutely first. So, and a big happy birthday to his son, Chase. They're out celebrating his birthday here tonight, so happy birthday, Chase, and hope you guys are enjoying dinner. We're enjoying some great racing here at Talladega Super Speedway in the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series. And they are back under green here. David Camara is going to lead them back. It looks like the field is really split up, as I don't think a lot of people were ready for them to get going. But these guys will end up getting pulled right back together if they draft up. As you can see, back through turns 1 and 2 right now, the field is really broken up. We're going to see a 3-wide move here. No help for either truck on that outside right now, so be interested to see how that all works out. Looks like those 2 trucks are going to get linked up on that outside line as Brandon Wallace and Scott Sanderson. The inside line still being led by David Camara, Jonah Colbert, Andy Kurtz, and Dennis Yakes now up into the 4th position. So some great racing going on right now. 41 truck again of James Coffin. We've seen him up in the top 10 all night long. William Piano Man Schroeder up to 8th. Anthony Radel now making a great move in that number 21 truck. We're starting to see Michael Waite make his way up through the field, and for the first time here this evening, Eddie Smith coming up into the top 15 or so. As we take a look at that bright orange number 25 truck of Eddie Smith. Let's take a ride behind the wheel of that truck with Eddie for a couple laps here, and I'll show you what it looks like in the middle of the pack at Talladega Speedway. You can hear it right there. These trucks build big runs, and you really got to check up so you don't get into the back of someone. Looks like right now Eddie Smith is just comfortable hanging back in the pack right now, not wanting to get up there and mix it up. Intentionally, you can hear him lift to stay back of the pack. So a little bit of survival mode right here. We'll check it out from a couple other trucks up in the front. Let's head behind the wheel of William Piano Man Schroeder's truck. You see him coming up through the tri-oval. One of the trucks up here in the pack. Running in 5th position right now. Great run for this 22 truck. Again, you'll hear him lift. See him move to the outside of it. Brandon Wallace is leading the charge on that outside line, and we'll take a look at what it looks like as he's got all these trucks stacked up down to the inside. And I tell you, folks, this is not easy racing. A lot of people think you just mat the gas and you just hold on for dear life, and that's not the case whatsoever. You're hearing these trucks lift. You're hearing them have to use a lot of throttle control getting around this track. And picking the right line and picking the right drafting partner is incredibly important if you're going to make it around this track, especially back up to the front. As you continue to see Brandon Wallace try to make his move all the way back to the front. Again, we're seeing some trucks towards the back of the field, and I think that is very intentional, trying to stay back of the big pack here, stay out of harm's way. And we've got 40 laps left here to go, so a lot of racing here to go. None of these trucks can make it from here to the end. So all these trucks will have to come down pit road at least one more time. And again, we're seeing Scott Sanderson make a move up to the outside to form a 3rd lane up there. He's going to be pushed by Scott Sanderson. David Camara here is probably hoping to get a decent caution at some point in time, as he is on a completely different fuel strategy than the rest of the field. So if he has to come down pit road all on his own, that is going to be one lonely drive. Watch these trucks. Scott Sanderson really making a move up on that 3rd lane. Has now been able to pull down in front of Brandon Wallace. That is going to leave Trevor McManus up on that outside line, being pushed by Jake Ham and Tony Minton. So 3 of the Indy Autosports trucks up there in line. Looks like Dennis Yakeson at number 20 is going to try to pull up behind the 99 here, get that 2nd line moving. As we continue to see that inside line really be the line to be in all night long. We've seen some charges from the 2nd and 3rd lines, but it seems the guys down here on the inside line are happy to ride around, push each other, and make sure that they stay out front. As I say that 2nd line right now being led by Scott Sanderson is really making a charge towards the front, as they have pulled even with the 0-2 of David Camara. Come through the tri-oval this time by. I believe that 0-2 truck is going to lead this lap. And he does, but that second line is really starting to come. Is the Indy Autosports guys still trying to get that third line to move? That's being led by Trevor McManus, being followed by Jake Ham and Tony Minton. Not a lot of help on that inside line on that second line right now, as there are only 3 trucks. Again, everyone else on that inside line just kind of minding their business, making laps. We still continue to see Eddie Smith kind of leave himself plenty of space off the back of the pack. Let's head to the 34 truck of Jonah Colbert. If you ever wanted to see what it looked like out the front nose of one of these trucks in traffic, that's all you see is the rear bumper of the truck in front of you. That is how close these trucks are getting to each other each and every single lap. It does get a little bit tight, and it gets a little bit white-knuckled. But again, that's what it looks like as you're drafting these trucks at Talladega Super Speedway. Still a lot of great racing left here tonight. Been a lot of great racing here so far. As we are coming up on lap number 25 of our scheduled 60 here tonight. A salute to our sponsors, 160. We've seen a lot of great racing. A few different leaders here this evening as well. Scott Sanderson continues to make his move on that outside line, being pushed by Brandon Wallace. That inside line still being led by David Camara. And Jonah Colbert, Andy Kurtz down there on the bottom. Number 22 truck, William Bannerman still had himself a great night as he runs 5th in line on that inside line. Go back and take a look at Phil, the Hitman Monzo, as we haven't had a chance to call his number tonight, but he is back there running in 11th position, having himself a solid night. And a damn good looking truck.
Come on,
I say that without really seeing it, and it's a Patriots truck. So that's the last time we show that here on the broadcast here this evening. So for everybody that tuned in, I apologize for putting a Patriots truck on your TV screens here tonight. We will quickly move away from that. But great job to Phil the Hitman Monzo and having a good night here tonight. We take a look at Kai Schaffer here in the number 13 truck, having himself a solid night as well, running towards the back of this pack. Eddie Smith still back there in 16th position right now, still maintaining his distance from the pack. Greg Sherman also towards the back of the pack right now, as he has decided to stay back here and stay out of harm's way. We've got a few of the trucks back here, I think, that are just kind of playing some things out pretty safe. Travis Beaver is back here in this pack. Joe Yates, Mike Browning, Regis Clark, who has got some significant damage to the rear end of that truck. Magic Mike Uribe is back here as well. Nate Moyer, Doug Neal, so the 2 Sitbox Motorsports entries back here towards the back of the pack. Again, I think most of these guys are just riding around trying to stay out of harm's way right now. We'll head back up front again and check in on our leaders. As Scott Sanderson now has moved to the lead, dropped down to that inside line. So now he leads that inside line in front of David Camara. And Jonah Colbert and Andy Kurtz. It's now Brandon Wallace is going to try to get that outside line to power up and make his move. And that was that was a tough bump there on the 93, but he survived it. Great action going on back through the field here this evening. Great camera shot here, coming through the trioval down to the start-finish line, and you can see over 30 trucks running in a pack right now, which is just an awesome sight to see. A lot of great racing here this evening. A lot of patience being shown as these guys really tried to pay attention to the roads, the lines, giving each other a lot of space. As now we see the pack move past Scott Rankin, so again, the damage to that truck must be pretty significant as he's not been able to keep up the speed, and now will fall a lap down here tonight. Only one caution here this evening so far. Only involved a couple trucks there. Still yet to see one of the bigger ones happen. Hope that we don't see it. Love to see this thing run itself out green. Scott Sanderson now has moved his 93 truck to the front. The outside line being led by Brandon Wallace. Dennis Yates pushing him in the number 20 truck. Go, and David Camara steps out of line there, gets into the side of Brandon Wallace. Looks like everybody's okay at this point in time. Everybody got checked up and back under control. I'm sure that kind of spooked the heck out of Brandon Wallace as now Jonah Colbert steps out of line to see if he can't get that top line moving. As we again see David Camara in that 02 truck having a tough time holding his line down there. Saw Tony Mitten pull up to the outside there just ever so briefly to see if he can form a third line. Wasn't able to quite get that done, so he falls back in line behind the hitman. Head back up front here, and now we're seeing a good push to the rear of Jonah Colbert by Brandon Wallace, and that line is starting to move itself forward. Jonah Colbert pulls even with David Camara right now for that second position, as that outside line's really starting to gain a whole lot of momentum right now. We're really starting to see these trucks snake back and forth on this backstretch here. Great racing all throughout the night here as we are now going to pass halfway in this race. $30 laps left here to go, and our salute to our sponsors, 160. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. Definitely want to talk about one of our other sponsors right now, and that is Gill Insurance Advisors. Gill Insurance Advisors is here in Indianapolis. They're actually nationwide. And he is a huge supporter of veteran businesses and veteran organizations. And I had the privilege of meeting with him a few months ago, and he wanted nothing more to be able to come out here and support this series and all the veterans and everything that we're doing with it. We would normally have, the Jam Printing and Promotions truck and the Gill Insurance Advisors truck here on the grid here this evening, but it looks like most of the Goat Locker, I don't even say most of the all the Goat Locker drivers took the night off, as we don't have a single truck out here tonight. But that's okay. I'm here calling the race, so at least there's one goat still standing. I think that's the thing. Do goats stand? I don't think they do. I saw a video on Facebook the other day of like a black goat standing and walking, and everybody was freaked out by it. All right, enough with the goat stuff. That top line has really been able to push itself forward now. Jonah Colbert has taken control over this race as they continue to race around here. A lot of great racing here this evening. And Bomber Ellison, I don't know where the 45 is at. Who is the 45 truck? That's a good question. So as we continue to watch these trucks lap around here, it looks like Jonah Colbert and Brandon Wallace have cleared themselves with Scott Sanderson and now moved down to that inside line. So we're starting to see that outside line be able to push to the front, and then those guys drop down. So it's almost like a slinky here a little bit, as they'll move up, drop down, and it starts to shuffle some other guys back. But again, still a lot of great racing. Now that outside line is going to be led by the 48 truck, Andy Kurtz. And we're going to have to see if he's going to be able to move his way up there, as he's going to get a good push from Phil the Hitman Monzo. Tony Mitten again moves up to that third line, trying to form up to the outside. Doesn't look like he's got a whole lot of help right now, but Jonah Colbert out to the point here, as it looks like David Camara has happened to pit for fuel, and he's going to drop out of this lead pack. A lot of racing left here to go here tonight, as now Phil the Hitman Monzo drifts up there just a little bit. He's going to be pushed by Trevor McManus in that second line. Andy Kurtz was shuffled to the outside, as we see a couple of these trucks really starting to get a little squirrely coming off the corners. Jonah Colbert continues to lead here tonight. We salute to our sponsors, 160 being pushed by Brandon Wallace right now. Scott Sanderson down his inside. It looks like Jonah Colbert, maybe a little bit of a bad push there. Was able to get that truck corrected and back up on track. So heads up driving by everybody there in the field as we stay under green. But now Phil the Hitman Monza is going to take over the lead of this race. Awesome to see that number 44 truck out front. I know I promised you all I was going to put the Patriots truck back out on the TV, out on the broadcast, but he took the lead, folks. I got to give him his props. Trevor McManus is now going to lead that outside line, being followed by Jake Ham, one of his teammates there. Jordy Malcolm starting to come up towards the front. A lot of great racing going on here this evening as now that outside line is looking to make a move. Trevor McManus leading that line up to the outside, pushed by the number 3 truck. 44, Phil the Hitman Monzo leading that inside line, being pushed by Jonah Colbert, Brandon Wallace, and Scott Sanderson. Good to see that number 44 truck out front. Starting to hear a couple of drivers call out across the race cons. There's going to be some pit stops coming. As we are coming down to 24 laps left here to go tonight. Again, for everybody that's tuned in right now, we still currently have our Veterans 48 fundraiser going through the entire month. You'll see up on the screen we have raised $671 to date. And to everybody that tunes in to the broadcast and helps support us, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're doing some awesome stuff for a great organization. And it's going to go back to a lot of great veterans. So can't wait to wrap this fundraiser up this month, get this money down to them, and see what they do. And hopefully here in 2 weeks we'll be able to get Jeff Powell back on the broadcast and be able to talk to him a little bit more, as next week the series has an off week. Haven't quite decided what we're going to do next week. We might actually host a fun run or something along those lines. We'll have to see what we come up with. A lot of great racing here this evening, though. Only one caution early on. We've been out there for what? This has been the longest run of the race thus far, as these guys continue to lap around here at 190 miles an hour. Phil the Hitman Monzo has moved that number 44 truck up into the lead, that outside line being led by Trevor McManus, Jake Ham in the 78 truck, and Jordy Malcolm, is now those two Indy Autosports guys drop down in line, leaving poor Jordy in that 78 out to dry. Come around this time by. We're going to have 23 laps left to go in our salute to our sponsors, 160 here tonight. You see David Camara there now back out on track. He has definitely gone a lap down, so he'll have to pull up to the rear of this field, try to catch the draft, and hopefully be able, when this thing cycles out, still be in the hunt for this thing, but it's going to be awful tough, as he had to pit with no drafting help whatsoever and had to wait for this pack to catch up to him. Trevor McManus now leads the field. Jordy Malcolm is going to be the truck on the outside, leading that charge, being pushed by the number 17. We're going to see the 13, Akai Shepard, as well up here towards the front, as the outside line continues to try to make moves and drop down to the inside. That time around, Jordy Malcolm leads that lap. So again, we continue to see the outside be able to get the push, move past that inside line, but now the 17 goes high on the 78. Not really sure what the deal with that is, but you know, everybody's got their own race to run. So he moves up to the outside. The 3 and the 9 continue to lead the inside line right now. 78's going to run the middle. Kai Shepard's going to be right there behind him. 44 of Phil the Hitman Montu, who got up there and led some laps here tonight. Jonah Colbert back there 4th in line. Brandon Wallace 5th in line down here on the inside. We see Scott Rankin again as the field blows by him, as that truck is still underpowered. Coming up on 21 laps left here to go tonight, folks. Been an outstanding race here from Talladega Super Speedway. These drivers have really put on a show here tonight. Only one caution early on thus far. And just a lot of great racing. We've seen a lot of different leaders here tonight. We've seen the low is and Scott Sanderson gets into the side of, and that is going to bring the caution out right there, as it looks like Magic Mike really was having a tough time there. This is going to gather up a few trucks. We're going to rewind and try to catch it here.
02 is going to need an EOL. 02, EOL.
Sorry, Henry.
As we'll slow it down here a little bit, we're going to see Scott Sanderson come down to the inside of Magic Mike, and Magic Mike just comes down ever so slightly a little bit. We'll continue to kind of watch it here as we're going to see these trucks pass the start-finish line.
The 02 get an EOL, please.
As they head off into turn one here. We'll speed it up just a little bit. I went a little too slow too early. Those two trucks just start to bounce off the side of each other. Turns the 77, gets into the 3 of Jake Ham. And, of course, this is in front of a lot of trucks here this evening, so it's going to collect up quite a few trucks here. As he comes back down in traffic, collects the number 20. Oh, it looks like Brandon Wallace just sneaks by. Piano Man not able to sneak by. Greg Sherman gets caught up in it. Anthony Radel. It looks like the 02 is going to get caught up in it as well.
Yeah,
Tough break here this evening for a lot of these trucks. But we're seeing some of the trucks right now come down pit lane. They got involved in this accident. We do have a lot of wounded trucks, a lot of smoking trucks. I think a lot of fast repairs are getting ready to get utilized, as the big one has definitely happened here this evening. And the salute to our sponsors, 160. We're going to see if we can't catch this wreck from a different perspective. Let's see if we can catch it from Mike Bertos's point of view.
Clear, please. 02.
As we see him just come up into it. Oh, gets into the side of the 19 truck. A couple other trucks get involved in this as well. So, again, tough break here this evening for a few of these trucks. As Eddie Smith is not going to use that fast repair. We'll hope that truck is actually able to run here this evening. He might be bringing it down a couple more times to see if he can't get it fixed up. We'll wait for a couple things to kind of sort out here as we're under caution with 20 laps left here to go tonight.
Black cleared, passing up the road.
Can I get one of those two, please?
Now we're looking at the number 38 at Greg Barnett, a really super cool looking Toyota. I love when these guys come out here in these patriotic paint schemes. Super cool looking truck. First time we get to call his name tonight. Number 59 of Timothy Douglas as well. Calling his name here this evening as we're watching some of these trucks come off pit road. Number 66 of Jamie Mullins in a really cool looking Air Force truck. Love that paint scheme, Jamie. Dustin Harrell in the number 12 John Deere machine. We've taken a look at Kai Shepard there, Trevor McManus, some of these guys here this evening. We'll go back through the field here a little bit and catch up on some of the drivers we haven't had a chance to talk about. Doug Neal in that number 77 Sim box entry. It's still one of my favorite paint schemes out there. Between the color schemes he uses and the color he uses, I just love that truck. Good looking truck. That Tide machine looking pretty rough here this evening. As Eddie Smith was caught up in that accident. I think he's trying to get that truck repaired without having to use his fast repair. But that is a lot of damage to that Tide machine. Continue to kind of sort out the running order here. It looks like we're going to go back green. Greg Barnett's going to take control of this race. While we're still under caution here again, let me bring up on screen
45 pitting.
We've talked about it a lot of times here this evening, but this is our Veterans 48 charity fundraiser that we're doing. As you can see right there, building bikes for vets. They do phenomenal work down there in the panhandle of Florida, doing a lot of great things for veterans. So please, if you can, hit the donate button in our Twitch stream right now. Head over to Veterans 48. Check out their Facebook page. Go to veterans48.org. Check them out and find a way to get involved and help them out as we have. A lot of good stuff to be done here. But we'll get back to racing here very shortly as the lights are out on the pace truck, and these guys are going to stack up 2 by 2. A lot of great racing left to be had here tonight. We're going to see some new faces up front here as that wreck really kind of shuffle up the running order a little bit. We've had some trucks that are a little bit different pit strategy. So we're definitely going to have some wounded trucks out here as
I think
well.
it's too wet. We gotta call this one.
The 38 of Greg Barnett's going to lead him back to green with the 59 of Timothy Douglas to his outside. Jamie Mullins going to restart third. Dustin Harrell in fourth. And Nate Moyer is going to restart in that fifth position. Greg Sherman in sixth. So Greg Sherman has been able to keep that truck mostly clean. We saw him get involved there a little bit. But he is now going to be able to get up here and have some fun with the front runners. See the base truck pull off, getting ready to get back underway here. Coming to 17 laps left to go. And a salute to our sponsors, 160. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. It's been a lot of fun here this evening. A lot of great racing from Talladega as the trucks are powered back up and underway. Green flag is back out. 17 laps left to go to settle this one here tonight. Same as that last restart, we kind of see the field a little broken up here. As a lot of guys just giving each other a lot of space as they're coming up to speed. All these trucks will be able to draft up, but I think some of these trucks are going to figure out how much damage was actually done to them as they try to stay attached to this lead draft. All these trucks heading down off of turn 3 here. A lot of great racing left to be had here tonight as we watch these trucks come off forward. Now, most of these trucks, the pit strategy is done and over with. They have enough fuel to get them to the end here. The only time we're going to see any of these trucks probably come back down pit lane is for accidents. So what we're going to have to see is now we've got 3 different lines formed right now. Greg Sherman had that middle line, which has dropped down in front of him. Vanessa drops all the way down to the inside line. 78 of Jordy Malcolm's going to lead the top line, and the middle line's being led by Greg Sherman, who's going to be pushed by the number 8 truck of Regis Clark. Jonah Colbert's going to be in that middle line as well as they continue to press that line forward, followed by Tony Mitten. Oh, and Regis Clark steps out of line there. Not sure if that was intentional or just got a little bit squirrely there, but Jonah Colbert's going to take advantage of it. And Greg Sherman 3 wide as well. A lot of these trucks trying to get up front. Jonah Colbert putting on a strong charge to get his truck back up towards the front here. He has made some significant moves. He started deep in the pack here, but now finds himself leading that middle line. Greg Sherman now up on the top line, being followed by Regis Clark, Jordy Malcolm, and the number 20 truck. Inside line steal being led by Trevor McManus. He's being pushed by the 59. And Scott Sanderson back into the picture as well. So you can see him in the 38 truck as well. Jonah Colbert really putting the push on to try to get back to the lead of this. So now we see Eddie Smith, who decided to had to have used his fast repair there, pull up to the rear of this field. We're coming up on 14 laps left here to go, so a lot of these trucks, it's going to be, the intensity is getting ready to pick up, folks. Yeah, as we do
Sorry
see the
about that.
45, Brian Brogan here just kind of hanging on to the back.
Sorry, 19.
Jonah Colbert still trying to get that middle line to move forward here as that outside line is still being led by Greg Sherman. Trevor McManus continues to lead the inside line coming down the back stretch.
Sorry, Trev. I thought you wanted to push. Thanks for letting me back up, Nathan.
Trevor McManus still continues to lead this race. The middle line is now Jonah Colbert, Tony Minton. 24 of Greg Sherman leads the outside line, being pushed by the 8 of Regis Clark. We are still 3 wide with 13 laps left here to go.
So you might want to give him the 8th and you get finished. That was my plan.
It's a real intense racing going on right now. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm holding my breath for sure. So now it looks like that outside line being led by Greg Sherman has been able to be pushed out front. Greg Sherman's going to drop all the way down to the bottom line after being pushed out front by the number 8 truck. Gets down to that inside line. And is now going to be the new leader of this race in that number 24 Yingling machine. Now he's going to be pushed by Trevor McManus coming down through the triover. We're just going to hope that Swerve and Sherman can hold on to that truck. Now Trevor McManus steps out from behind him. Greg Sherman does lead that lap. 59 is going to pull up behind Greg Sherman. And now Trevor McManus is going to be pushed by Jonah Colbert. You see Mike Browning down there on the apron as he's one of the slower trucks here this evening. Been involved in that accident earlier. Seeing some of these trucks dance a little bit here as they're pushing pretty hard to try to get their line to move to the front. Greg Sherman continues to lead the inside line. Middle line led by Trevor McManus. That outside line now being led by Tony Minton. Again, we continue to see some outstanding 3-wide racing back through the field here. We're coming up on 11 laps left to go here in this league for our sponsors, 160. Tight racing going on up front as now Jonah Colbert drops down to that inside line. Jonah Colbert's now going to lead the inside line, being pushed by Greg Sherman. The middle line being now led by Trevor McManus and Brandon Wallace. The outside line, Tony Minton and Regis Clark in the number 8 machine. Trevor McManus now drops down to the inside line. That outside line being led by Tony Minton here a little bit. I had to pause to catch my breath. Has now kind of pushed his truck out to the front. Isn't able to quite clear the 9 of Trevor McManus. Tony Minton decides to stay in that middle line and will now be pushed by Brandon Wallace. Jonah Colbert's going to step out from behind that number 9 truck as the 9 tries to block that move. Tony Minton now is going to be behind Jonah Colbert now in that second line. The outside line now being led by Regis Clark, and Jordy Malcolm is up there. Jonah Colbert continues to lead the middle line while Trevor McManus is down there on the inside. Again, we're seeing these trucks sort of back and forth here. And now Tony Minton jumps out to the outside line. It's really going to slow down that middle line. Oh, and the Jordy Malcolm. And we have another big accident here as that happened towards the front of it as Jordy Malcolm turns down Regis Clark. We'll see it from Regis Clark's point of view here. We'll rewind it and catch it right here from the beginning. As we're going to see Jordy Malcolm just get into him. Gets the number 9. And, I mean, my goodness, chaos ensues from there. Lots of damaged trucks here this evening. Some trucks able to check up at the back, but we see a vast majority of the trucks that are all tore up.
And where you go, Mike?
Hey, stretch in the middle of the back stretch.
As we're seeing a couple of the trucks here, I'm not sure if they can get going or not. We'll head back up front here, and it looks like Joe Yakes is going to be the leader of our race. As we've got a whole lot of trucks on pit road right now trying to get some damage fixed up.
Sorry, Tom.
Actually, it looks like Jonah Colbert and Greg Sherman were able to make it through there. And those two trucks are going to be leading this race. Little damage to the right front of that number 24 machine. Little damage to the right front of Jonah Colbert. But those trucks should be just fine. Tony Minton's going to restart back in third position with a pretty beat-up truck. Timothy Douglas in that 59's got a good, clean-looking truck. 38, Greg Barnett looking good. William Pianaman Schroeder got a little damage to the back. Jay Cam with some damage as well. So we've got some damaged trucks up here for sure. The number 12 looks pretty clean. Jamie Mullins in that slick-looking Air Force truck looking good. Kai Shepard as well.
Do I need to fix it?
I want to get fixed. I don't know. Tough call on that one.
I don't have a meatball.
As we're going to head up front here, as this is going to give us a little bit of a shootout towards the end.
That truck is as clean as the first lap, man. It looks great.
And that was the big one, folks. Unfortunately, when you get something like that happens up front, and we had 3 lines of racing happening, it's going to collect up a lot of trucks, and it sure did. We'll go back and take a look at Joe Yakes right now as he's back there in what looks to be the 11th position with a pretty clean-looking truck. So I think he's going to be signed. Scott Sanderson as well. So I think we still got a lot of trucks out here that are going to be in good shape as the 2 Simbox entry trucks look really, really good. Travis Beaver in that 114 looks like he's got a clean truck as well. We'll go back and take a look at some of these other trucks here. Anthony Radel not looking so good. That truck has got a lot of damage done to it. As we'll head back up front here and check in on our leaders.
Figure it's either going to be good on the restart or it's going to blow up.
We're seeing a lot of wounded trucks out here this evening. Big accident there that really got this. It's going to kind of turn the field around a little bit. A couple of the trucks up front were able to scoot through there unscathed. Number 24 truck and the number 34 of Jonah Colbert. Little damage to the right front of both of those trucks, but again, I think they'll be just fine. This is going to set up a shootout to the end here. Been an outstanding race here this evening. Definitely had a couple of big accidents here, but it's plate racing, and you're going to have those types of incidences and those guys getting together. I mean, no fault of anybody's there, really. It's just hard racing here at a plate track. These guys have been giving each other a lot of room and a lot of respect. It's going to start winding down here shortly for sure. Lights are out on the pace truck. They're going to stack them up 2 by 2, so we're going to have a 6-lap shootout here to the end. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. We do truly appreciate it and all the support that you've given throughout everything that we've done, especially our month-long fundraiser for Veterans 48 that we have going on right now. Again, be sure to head over to veterans48.org, learn more about what they're doing, and please, in our About Us tab, we have a link that you can donate, and please do. We've raised $671 of our goal of $1,000 so far. This will be a month-long fundraiser to help support that organization and all they're doing to help our veterans.
I got a DOL and telling me to pass somebody, and I did not have power.
As these trucks are stacked up 2 by 2, Greg Sherman is going to be the one that's going to bring it back to green. Jonah Culbert's going to be up on the outside. Tony Minton in a very wounded truck will be down on the inside, restarting 3rd. Timothy Douglas in the 59, restarting at 4th. Back there in 5th is a good-looking number 38 truck, Greg Barnett. We do have some trucks further back in the field that look pretty clean at this point in time. These trucks get lined up for this restart. It is going to be a wild one to the finish here. We're going to have to see if some of these trucks are actually able to stay up to speed here and see if these couple guys that are out front, like Greg Sherman and Jonah Colbert, are going to be able to hang on to this race. Those two trucks have been up front here for a little while and shown some great speed here tonight. Tony Minton as well has shown some great speed all throughout the evening here. We'll have to see if that truck's able to run. I think he's going to be okay in the draft as long as the engine isn't hurt. I think if he steps outside of the draft, he's going to have all kinds of issues. Getting ready to go back to green here, folks. Green flag is out, and we are back underway. 6 laps left here to go tonight. And salute to our sponsors, 160. Jonah Colbert gets a really good run and restart there to the outside. Not sure if he's going to be able to clear that number 24 truck. Not a lot of drafting help down here on this inside line, so I expect this outside line to really get a run coming down the backstretch here. Those trucks on the outside are really lined up nose to tailgate. Jonah Colbert getting a good push from that number 59. He will clear Greg Sherman. 59 truck now looks to the outside as Jonah Colbert's going to drop down to the inside. Now the 59 truck's going to lead that outside line. Looks like a third line is forming up at the top. Travis Beaver has moved up there with Jake Ham. 24 of Greg Sherman pushes Jonah Colbert right now. The 59 is being pushed by William Schroeder in the 22 in that middle line. We're starting to see some guys move around here a little bit, try to work their way back up and through here as Jamie Mullins in the 66 Air Force truck moves his way up. And now it looks like the 59 and 22 are going to drop down in front of Jonah Colbert. And now that's going to leave that outside line of the 66, 93, and 87. Jonah Colbert makes an aggressive move back to the outside. He knows that outside line has been able to push towards the front. Does not want to get stuck down there on the inside. Oh, we've got a truck. Scott Sanderson still saving that truck. It does save that truck. That is an outstanding save. Coming to 4 laps left here to go. What a save by Scott Sanderson. '59 truck continues to lead here. Timothy Douglas, Jonah Colbert leading that outside charge right now. Now the field is broken up a little bit here. Travis Beaver and Andy Kurtz now up towards the front. As we're seeing the field really broke up right now. Joe Yanks trying to pull back up to the rear of this lead draft. 59 and 22 down on the inside. Jonah Colbert leading that outside, being pushed by Jamie Mullins, Andy Kurtz, and Travis Beaver. Golly, and I think that was a bad push coming down the backstretch there. It gets Jonah Colbert a little bit loose. They bounce us off each other, but keep everything straight, and we stay under green. Jonah Colbert drops down to the inside behind Greg Sherman here. As we are back to 3 wide up front, is now Jamie Mullins in the 66 is going to lead the outside. William Pianaman's shoulder is going to lead the middle, being pushed by Joe Yakes. Oh my goodness, in the front pack. Rex. Greg Sherman's able to scoot through with a little more damage to the front of his truck. Looks like Piano Man is going to be the leader of the race after that all happened, but we're going to go back and take a look. Brandon Wallace has crashed. We're going to rewind it from this point here. Let's try the other rewind button, the one that actually rewinds.
Yeah, I have to avoid exit.
So we're going to see a couple trucks here in this pack.
99, get an EOL, please.
Looks like Joe Yakes moves up, gets into the 48, who clips the rear of the 66.
All right, queue up.
Gets down into the 59. Brandon Wallace is involved. Jonah Colbert's involved.
99, please.
Jonah Colbert looks like he's going to be okay. As he gets clipped again here, we'll have to see if that truck is okay. 99 gets bounced around back up into Jamie Mullins. So another tough wreck here.
19, are you coming?
Looks like that number
It's not
38,
gonna need
34
oil,
truck
please.
of Jonah Colbert's going to be okay as he gets back out on track.
Hey, how's my damage, Greg?
19, are you out there?
Yep.
You gonna move it?
Well, please. 21 EOL.
Jake, can you see my damage in your mirror? How bad is it look?
No.
As we'll have us at a green-white
Hey,
checker,
I'm
our
gonna
first
take the
attempt at a
19.
green-white checker.
Just gonna
A
make
lot
it
of
back to
aggressive
the line.
racing going on up front. These guys are really trying to hustle. Everybody wants to win these races, and so you make these moves, and it's tough racing. But William Piano Man Schroeder is going to be the leader of this race in a pretty wounded-looking number 22 truck. Greg Sherman is going to restart back in the second position, and we'll have to see if that truck's able to stay up to speed, as the front end is beat up pretty good on that one. Jonah Colbert still with some right front damage, not looking too awfully bad there. I think that truck is going to be okay. Travis Beaver with the right side of his truck pancaked in. We got Regis Clark back there in the 8th position right now with some right rear damage. Scott Sanderson, again, with the save of the year, back there going to restart in the 6th position with some damage to the rear of that truck. Dustin Harrell right now still with a pretty clean looking number 12, little damage to the right front. James Kaufman in that number 44 in that number 41 truck. Phil the Hitman Monzo still with a pretty clean looking truck as well.
Joe,
Tommy
can you
Cook,
see
I
how
don't
bad
think we've
mine
had a
looks?
chance to call his number yet this evening. That number 70 machine up 15 spots here into the top 10. We'll go back and take a look at a few of these other trucks back here as Brandon Wallace still sits on pit road getting some repairs done. I know some of these guys were definitely out of fast repairs here, so tough break for some of these drivers. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. This is the salute to our sponsors. 160 from Talladega Super Speedway. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for putting on a great show. It was a good race for some drivers here this evening, not a great race for others. I think a lot of guys that come into Talladega and Daytona understand that. That it is, it is a little bit of a dice roll, whether you're able to, dodge some of the wrecks and accidents. A lot of it is trying to put yourself in the right position at the right time, and some of these trucks have been able to do it. And I tell you, one of the trucks we've really been able to see move up through the field all night long is our pole sitter, Jonah Colbert. He has made some aggressive moves to make sure that that truck stays up front. He's been involved in a couple of minor things here. Again, I still think that truck is going to run pretty strong.
Sorry, Doug. Just
Not real sure about Greg Sherman there. We're going to have to see if he can get himself up to speed. This is going to be our first attempt at a green-white checkered here this evening. Only 2 tries at it. So hopefully we can get this race finished with a green flag run here to the end.
Yeah, I can't even get out of gear.
Should be an exciting finish to the end there, Trevor. I can't wait to see how this one ends up. I mean, we have got a lot of damaged trucks here this evening, so not sure how they're going to be able to work in the draft. But I do know one thing, the pushing is going to get real aggressive here, and some of the moves are going to get aggressive as these trucks want to get up here and win for sure. A lot of great racing here tonight, a lot of green flag runs. We've had a couple cautions here towards the end. Again, kind of to be expected a little bit. These guys are just racing really, really hard. And sometimes you got to take some pretty aggressive moves here at these plate tracks. And again, like I said before, sometimes they work out. Sometimes they just don't. But we're going to get this thing back underway here again. Again, our first attempt at a green-white checker. This is a salute to our sponsors here tonight, 160 from Talladega Super Speedway. This is the halfway point of our season, and so we will take next week off to maybe do some charity stuff, maybe host a couple of fun runs or something along those lines. And then we'll be back the following week for the second half of our season. Be sure to tune in each and every well, almost each and every night, as we have a lot of different
Jamie
series that we
and
run
Randall.
with and help
Yeah,
broadcast. So
I'll quick.
this has been just a
I'll pull
phenomenal
one,
race
make it
here this
restart.
evening. Appreciate all the drivers that have come out, and I'm hoping to see a great finish here at Talladega Super Speedway.
I'm not going to be up there dialing too. I'm a lap down.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
As these trucks come down through the trial, we're looking for that green flag. Green flag is out. And we are back underway here. We see a couple of these trucks kind of jockeying for position already. Pianoman jumps out to a little bit of a lead here. Jonah Colbert's going to jump up right behind him, try to push him. Because it looks like, gosh, Greg is trying to get into line here a little bit. As he's able to get into line back into third position, we've got trucks bouncing off each other in the back. That is going to bring us under caution again, and we're going to try it one more time. Again, really looked like a lot of trucks trying to jockey for position back there. We'll try to see it from James Kaufman's point of view. So Travis Beaver's up to the outside. They get 4 wide here, and there just wasn't enough room. A couple trucks bounce off each other, get collected. That poor 41 truck got stuck into the wall there. We'll head back up front here. Again, we are going to get another shot at this. This will put William Pianoman shoulder to the lead. Jonah Colbert's going to restart second this time. Craig Sherman back in third. Regis Clark, Scott Sanderson, Dustin Harrell, Doug Neal now up towards the front. Good to see that 977 up front towards the front here as the field gets caught up. One of the few trucks that are out on track right now that doesn't look like they have a whole lot of damage. Matter of fact, I don't see any damage on that 77 truck. 977 truck. Sorry. And I always got to give a big shout out to Doug Neal and what he does over at Simbox. Be sure to check him out on Facebook. He builds button boxes and things for us sim racers, and he puts together some great products. So be sure to check it out and give him the same support that you give us. Well, these drivers know one way or another, this next restart, no matter what the next flag is that comes out, the race is over. Again, hopefully these drivers will be able to get this thing done under green. Love to see a good green, finish here at Talladega. As we continue to kind of wind the laps down here. We've got the 22 of William Schroeder leading. Jonah Colbert back there, our pole sitter, sitting in second place, so he will restart on the outside. Lights are still on the pace truck, so we'll go around one more time here.
Lucky dog outside.
Again, been a lot of great racing here this evening. The intensity definitely picked up here towards the latter part of the race. We've had a few cautions here to end this thing. A couple of these guys have been able to avoid some of this. Jonah Colbert has really been able to keep that truck out of harm's way for the most part. Kind of damaged up. Greg Sherman, good to see old Swervin' Sherman up front here tonight. Regis Clark in that number 8 machine as well towards the front. Scott Sanderson, again, don't see him out here too often. Glad to have him out here on the track here tonight. Running back in that 5th position. We'll go back in and check on Tony Minton as well, back there in 13th position. So still having himself a decent night. You see the 88 truck of Michael Wade as well. That truck looks pretty clean right now. So as he gets himself caught back up to the rear of the field. Should get the one to go this time by. Get this thing back underway. And for those that are tuned into the Goat Locker Racing Network here, those two bars that you see up on your screen, the top one is our fundraiser for Veterans 48. You'll see we have a goal of $1,000, and we have reached 671 so far, so we do truly appreciate that. The one below is our subscription goal for this month. We want to get 100 subscribers to our channel. Once we reach that 100th person, we're going to gift out a $100 gift card to a random person. And so please tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody. Come on over to Goat Locker Racing here on Twitch. Give us a subscribe, and be sure to tune into all the racing that we do here. A lot of great fun. Again, this is a league built by veterans for veterans. We support all of our military, police officers, firefighters, and first responders, and, of course, the core group of people that support them. We appreciate everybody that comes out here and drives and supports us on the broadcast. A lot of fun being able to do this and put it together. These trucks are going to get stacked up 2 by 2. This is our last attempt at a green-white checkered here this evening. William Schroeder's going to restart in that first position down on the inside line. Jonah Colbert out in second. Greg Swervin Sherman in that number 24 will restart third. Regis Clark in the number 8 will restart in fourth. And rounding out our top 5 will be Scott Sanderson. And then number 93 machine. We are going to hope that we could actually finish this thing under green. I know last week we ended up having to finish it under caution. Could not get past the 2 green-white checkers. I got faith here at Talladega. We're going to get past the 2 green-white checkers and finish this thing under green.
Those two, are you full power?
I got more than you do.
Can 21 get at UL, please?
As we're watching these
Yeah,
trucks
not
come
getting
down
into the
through
UL.
turns 3 and 4,
Exactly.
getting ready to get this thing back underway.
Nudging you up.
19 EOS. Thank you.
For those of you that are wondering why I'm so quiet, I'm just anxiously awaiting the restart of this race. It's been a lot of fun calling this race. It has been a lot of fun watching this race. To see some of the moves these guys have done, and I will again tell you, the save that Scott Sanderson made in that number 93 was incredibly impressive. So it has been a blast to watch, a blast to call, but it all comes down to this. Last attempt at a green-white checkered here. William Pianaman Schroeder is going to lead him back to green. Jonah Colbert up here on the outside. Green flag is out, and we are back underway. William Pianaman Schroeder gets a great restart there. Jonah Colbert and Regis Clark get a good start to the outside. They're going to see if they can't draft nose to tail here. Greg Sherman trying to catch up to the rear of the 22 right now, so they can draft up. A lot of these other cars or trucks back through the field jockeying for position. As now we see that number 8 truck right on the tailgate of the 34. Jonah Colbert trying to push him to the lead. As Scott Sanderson is trying to split the middle right now. You see one of the Simbox entries move up to the outside. Oh my goodness, we are going to wreck. Scott Sanderson gets spun out down to the inside. Caution has come out. That is going to end the race. All righty, as we get the running order sorted out here, I'm going to have to give a few instructions across the mic. All right, drivers, make sure that you get single file and stay single file. We have to complete all the laps all the way through the checkered, please. Nothing until the last truck crosses the start-finish line. Please get single file so the running order is correct. So it looks like Nate Moyer in the 977 is going to be our winner here this evening. William Schroeder is going to finish back in second position, and Jonah Colbert's going to bring it home in third. Travis Bieber in fourth, and rounding out our top 5 is going to be Greg Swervin Sherman.
Hey, 13, I just want to
What a great race here this evening. Can't say it enough. Tough that we had to finish the thing under caution. But these guys, 4 wide, just really trying to push to get up front. Made some aggressive moves, and Nate Moyer made the move to get up front and win this race.
You went up there and completely blocked me. You left me just
just barely enough room there. I really no, I'm not being sarcastic, man. I respectful is what I'm trying to get at. Good racing, man. Good racing.
As we watch these trucks come around here, this is the final lap. All trucks must cross the start-finish line under their own power, which is one of the issues we had last week. So there shouldn't be any issues here this week. As Nate Moyer is going to win it here tonight, and the salute to our sponsors, 160. Congratulations to him from Simbox Motorsports in that 971 truck. Ran a phenomenal race here this evening, had his truck at the right spot at the right time, and brought home the win.
Well, good win, Nate. Attaboy.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome racing here this evening. A lot of fun here tonight, and can't wait to talk to our top three here tonight. As Nate Moyer is probably going to bring it back around and do a little celebrating here. Top three to the waiting room, please. A lot of good racing here tonight. Can't say it enough. Congratulations to Nate Moyer on just an awesome win here tonight. Good to see Simbox win a race. I'm sure they're super stoked about it. I know Doug will be as well. As Nate Moyer parks it here at the start-finish line. And here we go. We'll just sit back, relax, and enjoy the smoke show here, folks. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty dang impressive right now. Might have to hit up Nate, and he's going to have to show me a thing or two on how he does that, because that is pretty impressive right now. But as we let him finish up, let's go grab our third place finisher, Jonah Colbert. Hey, Jonah, it's Pat up in the booth. You got a copy? That was a pretty dang exciting race. Man, I mean, a lot of back and forth. We saw you back in the field be able to move up to the front. We saw some aggressive pushing as well, which upset the truck a couple different times. It looked like you had your hands full on a few different occasions, but you were able to kind of weather through it and bring that truck home in third. So take me through your night, brother.
Tonight was about being aggressive. I was holding nothing back tonight. I've had a rough string of races, unfortunate finishes, so I decided to stop playing the conservative game and start playing the aggressive game and see where it would get me. And it really worked out tonight. I mean, it kept me in front of most of the wrecks. And one of the wrecks, it was like the Red Sea parted right in front of me. I don't know how I avoided it. I really don't, because they wrecked above me and below me, and I just went right through the middle. So then another one, I went for a ride through the tri-oval and got some sweet air, but the truck was clean enough, so I stuck with it and got it home third. Man, I really thought I was going to get him on the outside there, and then the 8 truck decided to make it 3 wide, and it just killed my run. I was hoping he'd stay with me, but, it's green, white checkers. He's got to do what he's got to do, so it was a good run, but, man, it was exciting. I'm sure it put on a good show.
It did. I mean, a lot of green flag runs through the middle of the race. I mean, a long green one through the race, and watching you guys jockeying it back and forth, and then there towards the end. I mean, the green white checkers. You got to figure it's going to get 4 or 5 wide as guys try to get up there. But again, great night of racing for you. Great night for JC Motorsports, man. You got any sponsors you need to thank? Shout outs.
G2G trailers, all those guys that help sponsor this league. My mind's blank right now. I'm sorry. I wish I could give more.
You're good.
Veterans 48 is a big one though. Y'all need to get out there and donate to this cause. It's awesome what you guys are doing to raise money for it. And then man, shout out to the winner. He went from like 9th place to 1st in about a half a straightaway. I've never seen a run like that. It's like he strapped a rocket to the back of his truck and just took off.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Congrats to him on that, man. Like, that was awesome.
Well, man, hey, congratulations on the 3rd place finish and running one hell of a race. we're off next week, so I'm sure we'll find each other on the track at some point in time. Probably tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But congratulations, Jonah. Get out there and celebrate, brother.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, he's right. Sometimes you just part the Red Seas there, and you hope things are good. So let's grab a hold of our second place finisher, OPM. Hey, Piano Man, it's Pat up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep. How's it going?
Man, it's good. It feels like forever since I had a chance to talk to you, man. So,
yeah, for sure.
So I mean, it was Talladega at the end of the night. I mean, a lot of movement throughout the field, but it looked like about halfway through the race, you really moved your truck toward the front and kept it up front, even with some damage to that truck, and then was able to avoid some of the wrecks there at the end. And man, those last cup green white checkers. I mean, I was white knuckled. I can't even imagine how you were. So, kind of take me through your race here this evening and how you brought that number 22 home with second place.
Yeah, me and my team were trying to stay kind of middle of the pack the whole night, especially the bottom lane we hugged, just to try and, stay safe, to have room for crashes. And we got caught up in the first one, but made our way back up before that second big one. And luckily, me and Greg made it through and ended up 1-3 on that last restart, but didn't seem like we had enough juice to have enough bump draft before that last caution came out. But great finish for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, an outstanding run. Good to see you up front and running up front with these guys. So, I mean, you got any sponsors you needed to thank? Any shout-outs?
No sponsors, no shout-outs, but it was hell of a fun night and glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you, brother. Awesome race for you and that number 22 machine and your team as well. So get out there and celebrate that second place finish, and we'll see you back out on the track soon.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, man. Well, let's go grab our race winner here. Hey, Nate, it's Pat up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How you doing tonight?
Well, it's just me, man. So I'm doing well. I got to watch one hell of a race. If you listened into the broadcast and you heard Jonah, he's like, I've never seen anybody, make the move that you did there at the end and get the run that you did. So congratulations on the win here tonight, man. Strong run out of that Simbox Sports truck. So, I mean, take me through your night and how you got the win here tonight.
I'm not really good at super speedway racing, only because I don't have. I feel like I'm too patient. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, I was running like 25th to 30th all night, and then I just kind of let nature take its course. I know there's some really aggressive guys in here, and they just, not saying they cause the wrecks, but wrecks happen up front here, and I just kind of let everybody go through their faster pairs, and that's what me and my teammate Doug Neal. That's kind of what we just do for every super speedway race. We just kind of hang around in the back, and then the last like 10 laps, last 5 laps, that's when it's put the pedal down to the metal and just go with it. It kind of sucked there at the end. I guess it worked in my favor that me and Doug Neal started in opposite lines there, and I knew that the guy, the 114, I forget, Bieber. I knew that he had damage, and I knew he was going to be slow. So I knew that was going to help me get up to the high line. I knew Doug wasn't going to take that high line from me. And I just kind of dragged the brake a little bit when I got beside the 114 to get a big run. And I never thought I was going to clear them like that. I just wanted 3-wide racing and hoping somebody would come up high with me. But I would have never got that win if the 113 didn't, or the 13 of Kale or Kai would not have. It's big to him for not pinching me up into the wall or coming up and blocking my run. I think he tried slowing me down, but I gained a lot of respect for him tonight here.
Yeah, Kai Shepard's a stand-up guy and a great racer, and you guys put on one hell of a show here tonight, man. So you got any sponsors and shout-outs you need to make?
Yeah, the name on the side of my truck says it all, Simbox. He builds button boxes if you need any button boxes for your iRacing rigs or Flight Simulator or the trucking game, Truck Simulator. He builds button boxes. Just hit up Simbox PC on Facebook. And also my old man's always watching everyone's broadcast. He likes watching this racing more than real life racing anymore. So he's always tuned in. Shout out to him. I know he's watching. A little disappointed he hasn't texted me yet, but I know he's watching right now.
Well, I mean, you ran one hell of a race here tonight. Congratulations on the win, Nate. Get out there and celebrate, and we'll see you back on the track soon, brother.
All right, you guys have a good week, bud.
All right, you too, man. Well, there you have it, folks. a great night of racing here tonight. We'll bring up the results here tonight, and a lot of fun, a lot of great racing all throughout the pack throughout the night. We saw guys up front, teams working together, fall back a little bit. We saw the outside line work. We saw the inside line work. And there at the end, it was every man for himself. And I think Jonah Culver said it best. You know, sometimes at these races, you just got to get aggressive with it. Keep your truck out front. And you heard kind of there from Nate, the opposite end of that strategy. You kind of play it patient, you wait in the back, and then make your moves towards the end. As you see for both of those strategies, it worked out pretty well. So, congratulations to a lot of everybody that comes out and races with us. Man, we really, really appreciate it. I spoke about it a lot during the drivers' meeting tonight. I'm a huge fan of all the drivers here that come out and support us. I'm a huge fan of everybody that tunes in to our broadcast and helps support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This was our salute to our sponsors. So, this week coming up, we will take the week off. We will be back the following week. And let me see if I can't get the schedule up here on the screen. So next week we're off. We'll come back on the 21st of October to Kentucky. That'll be a lot of fun race. And then on the 28th, we'll hit our very first road course at Watkins Glen. 4th of November, we'll be at the Milwaukee Mile, which will be an absolute blast, one of my favorite tracks out there. November 11th, we'll be at Darlington, and the last race before the playoffs kick off, we'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway on November 18th. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. We will be behind the wheel of the Xfinity cars tomorrow for the Extreme Xfinity Series, fueled by Goat Locker Racing. No ARCA race tomorrow, as the entire Original Rebels League has their All-Star Week, so you will catch me and Jamie in the All-Star race on Sunday. And then next week, both our Super Late Model Series and our Truck Series are on off weeks, but I think we're going to throw something special together next week just to get out there and fun. So stay tuned to our social media. Be on the lookout for, well, we're going to put something really cool together next week. So, again, thanks to everybody that tunes in. We'll see you tomorrow night.